What's up, everybody? Oh my gosh, again. What's going on, everybody? I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to change the 12-volt batteries out of this Razor scooter. This particular model is an E175, and these are great because you can pick them up on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or wherever you shop, used or rummage sales and stuff like that, because the batteries go out. And it's a pretty simple fix. So I just did the one over there. So after I did that, I was like, well, now I know what to watch out for, so I can show you guys how to do it quick. I'm using the most basic tools that I could find around my house. This is stuff like out of the junk drawer, like one of these multi-use screwdrivers. You just need a Phillips head screwdriver. And the reason I'm doing that is just to prove that you don't need like fancy tools to do something like this. So if you're nervous about this, hopefully this helps. But this is just a Leatherman. I just grabbed it because it's in the junk drawer. It's a pliers. Everyone should have pliers around. Something you might not have is a wire stripper. You can have fancier ones like this. I recommend everybody have one, but some people might not. But this one is, you can find these at garage sales all the time. I would just pick one up. Super handy to have around the house. They're super cheap. Another thing, glue gun. You'll see why. We'll use that later. And then, of course, the new batteries here. I just picked these two up. Actually, I picked up four, but I got like a 2-pack for $14 shipped. You can buy this stuff dirt cheap now. Who knows how long they'll last, but they got to be better than what's in there. So first things first, you want to remove loosen 4 of these screws here. Then these 2 that are on the back here, they have these little nuts on the back. That's what you need the pliers for. I like to just leave those in place and set this aside somewhere safe. You don't have to worry about trying to find screws, because funny story, the first one that I did, you take out these 2 black screws holding in this brace. But I took these out, right? And then I like to just put them back in this spot. And I must not have threaded enough, because I was testing the scooter out and I couldn't find the screw afterwards. I looked all over the house. I had a flashlight on hands and knees. The dog's following me around trying to figure out what I'm doing. But what had happened is that this one had fallen back in here and got stuck in there. So luckily I found it, got it put together, and the scooter works fine. One thing to note about these scooters is I've never actually ridden one, but this is just a little foam pad. Helps hold these batteries in. But you have to push to start them. And so you have to be going like 3 miles an hour for the motor will kick on. So if you get your repair done and it's not going, you've never rode one before, that's just one thing that you can watch out for. So maybe we'll zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so you'll see you got 2 batteries here, and it looks like either some of the glue came off or this has been replaced before. No, I think this is a Razor battery. So you'll see you have your negative. You kind of want to remember how this is orientated in here, because I kind of struggled with that on the first one. But so we have our negative, positive, and if you need to, like, snap a picture of what's going on. One thing that you also want to keep in mind is down here we're going to disconnect these 2, but red is on top, positive's on top. And the nice thing about having 2 of these is when I was putting it back together, I didn't take a picture of it, so I had to pop the top off this one to see what the orientation was of the positive and negative. But you gotta disconnect here. So do that. And then these batteries will not come out until you... So the battery that's on the right has the red positive that goes to the connection here. And these just pull off. And then the other battery has the negative. So once we get that out, our batteries are free. So I'll just leave them in here so we can kind of see them better. So what we're going to do is just kind of remember the way it's orientated. So an easy way, if you find yourself that you feel like you might get confused, you can just simply set the battery that you'd be working on next kind of over here, and then, or if you have a flat surface, I'm running out of room to film, so you would like place it down here, you know, next to it, and then just kind of do one at a time so you don't get confused. That's one way to do it. Otherwise, like I said, refer to pictures or this video if that works for you. So what I'm gonna do is, so all we're doing is just gonna clip these off from here. We're not gonna worry about soldering or anything like that. We're gonna clip these down as close to here as possible. And on this there is a wire cutter, so that's what I'm using. So let's just do this one first. So now we can take that out, pop this one right in here. Okay, so wire's pretty clean there. So if you've never used a wire cutter before, you kind of base it upon, you put it on here and try to guess the gauge. You want to just cut through the outside, so the insulation that's on there. And I always like to work backwards, so I'll go like, okay, 14, because you don't want to cut the wires, especially in something this short. So let's go to 16. Get that, give it a good twist. Guess we didn't get it good enough. There we go. Then we'll just spin those together. Grab our female disconnect. So I'm going to slide this on there, make sure we get all of our wires in there, and go all the way till it hits the insulation. You can see we got a little bit sticking through here, that's good. Take your crimper, color coded, so you'll see blue there. So we want to put it right there where the blue's at, and sometimes I like to give these a little double. So I'll go as far to the end as I can. Squeeze that. We'll do one more right here. You can see that's depressed there. Like us all, it's depressed. Give it a good pull. All right. And that one's done. You just slide it on there. Then we're going to have some issues with the fit, which I discovered the first time around. So we're going to try to make sure that this is as low profile as possible, right? So I might even try to smash down this. This is just a little jacket on there. This one's kind of loose, so we can just tighten this up a little bit. That ain't going nowhere. All right, so we have the negative wire that we cut. We're just going to do the same thing here. So now we know from the last time that we're going to go with 16. Squeeze it all the way. Just like that. Get everybody together. Grab another disconnect. Or, yeah, female disconnect. Once again, make sure it's slid all the way on there. Push down until we get to the insulation, and we could see the wires coming up there. Perfect. You want to make sure you get these pretty well secured because Junior or Juniorette will be riding this on a very bumpy sidewalk, presumably. Test it, that's on there. That ain't going nowhere. All right. Knock the whole thing over. The battery one is done. Perfect. Okay. So you see, usually you'll notice on these factory batteries. I wonder if something wasn't done over here, but they'll have this. I guess you'd probably call it like a hot glue type of material. They do this to keep the connections here from corroding. We don't need to peel that off. What am I doing? Anyway. So after you don't peel that off, I guess I peeled it off on the first one just because I wanted to see how it was connected. It's just soldered on. If you don't have one of these, you can also use a utility knife. I don't recommend this as much though. Cut yourself, cut through the wire. Have a bad time. There. It's not as clean. It will work though. So you can see there's a, it's probably hard to see inside of there, but the metal collar doesn't come all the way down. So the metal collar only goes to about there. So that's why it's imperative that you push it all the way up, because you don't want to do one of these, you'll have a bad connection. So you want to try to get that insulation all the way up to that metal collar. And I like to be able to see the wires poking out. Then I know that they're all together and they're going to the right spot. Okay, so that was the hardest part. This is simple, right? So now the difficult part here. So I mean, you could be done here if you wanted to. You just run the risk of these getting loose over time. And you know, anytime there's a loose battery connection, it likes to corrode a lot more faster. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to put a little bit of hot glue over the top of it. And what I did in the last one is I put a bunch underneath, and it was kind of sticking out, and not realizing that I really needed every little bit of space. So that's why I have the knife, because I end up having to cut some of it out, and not necessary. So what we're going to do is we're going to put hot glue right over the top. If you don't have a hot glue gun, check out Estate Sales. Oh, that's where I got this one. $3. Look brand new. Even came with the sticks and a container to keep it in. So I'm just going to put a little on the back here. We're going to try to keep that profile low, but I want the hot glue to really hold that whole operation in place. This is definitely going nowhere. You're going nowhere. Give those a second. Okay, so we're gonna reconnect. This is something else I learned when doing this, is you want to reconnect these before you try moving them. I put the batteries in. Finally got them in there. And I couldn't reach these to get these back in. So put these in first. What do we say? Red on top? See, this is where let's get a double check. Confirmed, red on top. Okay, so got the negative in, positive on top. All right, here's where it can get kind of tricky. So you'll see down here there's a little tab. Maybe you can't see it. It's really dark in here. Sorry. It's getting ready to film and my light decided that it probably should have been charged at some point. So you can try the first one. What I ended up doing last time. See how this is just a cluster in here? What I end up doing before, and which I'm gonna have to do again, even though I made these super low profile, is we're gonna have to offset them and put them in at the same time. I keep fighting this negative. Fight the negativity. There we go. Don't forget to reconnect this. I'm going to make sure that our wires are underneath all of this. I'm pretty sure that's down as far as it'll go. Now let's go ahead and put our battery strap in. Sorry, half watching the hockey game and somebody just scored a disgusting goal. Go Knights, go. All right, screw those in. And that's kind of, I guess that's kind of it. Make sure our wires they're down, not going to be up top on top of this battery here. So that's basically it. So then you just go ahead and put your top back on. Before you want to, if you want to, before you do all that, put this back on. If you want to test it, just remember that you gotta, obviously you gotta turn it on. And we got light, so assuming that this thing works in the first place. Like I said, I never tested it, but I got that one. I got the other one going by since I'm in the house and it's nighttime, I just kind of ran it across the floor without standing on it to try to get the back wheel going, and it took off, and it sounded like it was going like a son of a. So I'm gonna assume, I know they're not gonna hold up my massive body, so it's just gonna be happy birthday, let me know if these scooters work, thanks. But yeah, I think we'll probably end the video so you don't have to watch me screw in screws. I have to figure out that one. So, but yeah, so that's it. That's how you do it. Just don't forget these little jobbers back here. The reason I want to make the video is because I I just want to show other people that you're capable of doing this kind of stuff. I don't want people to be intimidated by it. It's really not that hard. And if I could show you a couple things along the way, make it easier for you, give you that confidence to do it, then all the better. So until next time, thanks for watching. And if you found this content useful, please give it a like and enjoy fixing stuff and the scootering that you'll have in the future. So talk to you later. Bye.